Hello friends, in class 12th unit 5 surface chemistry. In this video we are going to discuss about adsorption, distinguish between adsorption and absorption, physisorption and chemisorption. Let us see one by one. First of all we discuss some terms. First, what is surface chemistry? This is the branch of science which deals with the phenomena that occur at the surfaces or interfaces. Clear? Now some terms are there. Adsorption. Remember this. This is AD. Adsorption. Clear? The accumulation of a molecular species at the surface rather than in the bulk of a solid or liquid is termed adsorption. Adsorbate. The molecular species or substance which concentrates or accumulates at the surface is termed adsorbate. Adsorbent. The material on the surface of which the adsorption takes place is called adsorbent. Three terms are there. What is adsorption? This is the accumulation of molecules at the surface. What is adsorbate? The species which accumulates on the surface, these are adsorbate, and the surface on which this adsorption is taking place, this is called adsorbent. Solids, particularly in finally divided state, have large surface area and therefore charcoal, silica gel, alumina gel, clay, colloids, metals in finally divided state, etc. act as good adsorbents. Okay. Now see some examples of adsorption. The molecules of gases like O2, H2, CO, Cl2, NH3 or SO2 concentrate at the surface of the charcoal. The molecules of the dye accumulates on the surface of charcoal. Decolorization of raw sugar when passed over animal charcoal. Now you can say, what is this animal charcoal? So this is a fine charcoal prepared by calcining bonds. What is the calcining? That is heating in the limited supply of oxygen. That is called calcining bonds in a closed vessel. And this animal charcoal is used as a filtering agent in sugar refining and as a adsorbent and disinfectant. Clear? The air becomes dry in the presence of silica gel. Air contains the moisture. If you want to remove this moisture, if we put some silica gel in that small area, then silica gel adsorbs the moisture from the air. Desorption. The process of removing an adsorbed surface from a surface on which it is adsorbed is called desorption. Simply we can say this is the reverse of adsorption. Sorption. The process in which both adsorption and absorption takes place simultaneously is called sorption. Like cotton dipped in ink is an example of sorption, in which both adsorption and absorption are taking place. Now, how can we differentiate between these two, adsorption and absorption? In this, substance is concentrated only at the surface, while in this case substance is uniformly distributed throughout the bulk. That's why we can say this is a surface phenomena and this is a bulk phenomena. For example, water vapors are adsorbed by silica gel, okay, and water vapors are absorbed by anhydrous calcium chloride. You can also see from this diagram. In this case, the surface molecules are adhere for the surface. That's why this is surface phenomena, adsorption. In this case, molecules are fitting in the bulk. Okay, that's why this is a absorption. In a very common way, we can say, if any kid eat the chocolate and this chocolate is stick on the face, then we can say this is adsorption. Okay, and if this is eat in the mouth, then we can say this is absorption. Clear? You can also see this from this diagram. That is, if particles go inside, this is inside, then this is called absorption. And if these particles are attached at the surface, then this is called adsorption. Clear? Now next one is mechanism of adsorption. Adsorption arises due to the fact that the surface particles of the adsorbents are not in the same environment as the particles inside the bulk. Actually, inside the adsorbent, all the force acting between the particles are mutually balanced, but on the surface, the particles are not surrounded by atoms or molecules of their kind on all sides, and hence they possess unbalanced or residual attractive forces. You have discussed about the surface tension in the class 11th. Okay, in the bulk, this molecule is attracted in all the sides, but at the surface, that is net downward force is there. No balance, force is not balanced. These forces of the adsorbent are responsible for attracting the adsorbate particles on its surface. Now, during adsorption, there is always a decrease in residual force of the surface. That is, there is decrease in surface energy. Is it clear? Decrease in surface energy, which appears as heat. That's why we can say this adsorption is an exothermic process. And when this is exothermic, what is the sign for delta H? Enthalpy change. That is, enthalpy change is always negative for the exothermic process. But at the same time, when a gas is adsorbed, the freedom of movement of its molecules becomes restricted. That is, randomness is decreased. That's why we can say this is delta S. What is delta S? This is entropy is negative. Okay. That's why we can say adsorption is thus accompanied by decrease in enthalpy as well as decrease in entropy of the system. But for a process to be spontaneous, what is the condition? Delta G, Gibbs energy must be negative. And on the basis of this, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta H. Delta G can be negative if delta H has sufficiently high negative value as, now see, minus T delta S. This is positive in case of adsorption, because this delta S is negative, this is negative, and this is negative, becomes positive. Clear? That's why if delta H is sufficiently high negative, then we can say delta G will be negative. Thus, in adsorption process, which is spontaneous, a combination of these two factors makes delta G negative. Types of adsorption. There are the two types of adsorption are there: physical adsorption or physisorption. If accumulation of gas on the surface of a solid occurs on account of weak van der Waals forces, the adsorption is termed as physical adsorption or physisorption. Chemical adsorption or chemisorption. When the gas molecules or atoms are held to the solid surface by chemical bonds, these chemical bonds may be ionic or covalent. The adsorption is termed as chemical adsorption or chemisorption. Chemisorption involves a high energy of activation because it involves the bond formation, often referred to as activated adsorption. Clear? A physical adsorption at low temperature may pass into chemisorption as the temperature is increased. That is, at the lower temperature, if this is a physical adsorption, then the high temperature it may be chemical adsorption or chemisorption. For example, dihydrogen is first adsorbed on nickel by van der Waals force. That's why this is physical adsorption. Molecules of hydrogen then dissociate to form hydrogen atoms, which are held on the surface by chemical adsorption or chemisorption. Now see, characteristics of physisorption. Lack of specificity. Yeah? A given surface of an adsorbent does not show any preference for a particular gas as the van der Waals force are universal. That's why any adsorbate can be adsorbed on any surface. Nature of adsorbate. The amount of gas adsorbed by a solid depends on the nature of gas. In general, easily liquefiable gas, that is higher critical temperature, are readily adsorbed as van der Waals forces are stronger near the critical temperature. Reversible nature. This is generally reversible. Surface area of the adsorbent. As we know, adsorption is a surface phenomena. That's why It is increases with the increase of surface area. That's why finely divided metals and porous substances having the large surface area are good adsorbents. Okay. Enthalpy of adsorption. Enthalpy of adsorption is quite low in case of physical adsorption. This is because the attraction between gas molecules and solid surface is only due to weak van der Waals force. Okay, and as we know, this is exothermic process. That's why this heat is released. Characteristics of chemisorption. High specificity. Chemisorption is highly specific and it will only occur if there is some possibility of chemical bonding between adsorbent and adsorbate. For example, oxygen is adsorbed on metals by virtue of oxide formation, and hydrogen is adsorbed by transition metals by the hydride formation. Irreversibility, as chemical bond is formed. That's why generally chemisorption are irreversible in nature. Surface area, like physical adsorption, chemisorption is also increases with the increase of surface area of adsorbent. Enthalpy of adsorption. In case of chemisorption, it is high, 80 to 240 kilojoule per mole, as it involves chemical bond formation. Now after this, you must be able to compare physisorptions and chemisorption. Now let us see. It arises because of van der Waals force. While this is chemisorption, this arises due to a chemical bond formation, and this chemical bond may be covalent bond or ionic bond. It is not specific in nature, it is highly specific in nature. Okay. Then this is reversible in nature, it is irreversible in nature. It depends on the nature of gas. More easily liquefiable gases are adsorbed readily. It also depends on the nature of gases which can react with the adsorbent show chemisorption. In this case, the enthalpy of adsorption is low, from 20 to 40 kilojoule per mole. In case this enthalpy of adsorption is high, 82 to 40 kilojoule per mole. In this case, low temperature is favorable for adsorption. It decreases with increase of temperature. Dear student, this is the important point. How the adsorption changes with the temperature. Physical adsorption is decreases with increase in temperature. While in case of chemisorption, actually in this case, activation energy is required. That's why initially when we increase the temperature, it is increases. And after certain time, after certain temperature, it is decreases. So generally it is increases with the increase of temperature. This no appreciable activation energy is needed in case of physisorption, while in this case high activation energy is required. It depends on the surface area. It increases with an increase of surface area. In the same way, it also depends on the surface area. It also increases with the increase of surface area. And it results into multi-molecular layers on adsorbent surface under high pressure, while it results into unimolecular layer because it involves the bond formation. Is it clear? Then thanks.